Organ donation, transplants, two things you never think you'll need to learn about. But life circumstances can push you into making the decision about organ donation, whether it's someone that we love has died or we find ourselves needing a transplant. My name is Gracie. I want to introduce you to a group of people who have made the decision to either donate at difficult times of their lives or, through medical circumstances, hope and pray that someone is willing to say yes to it.
When I was about 10 years old, I was diagnosed with, it's called chronic active hepatitis. It's an immune disease, it's hereditary. What happened was my organs started rejecting my liver, like it was a transplant. It causes me to get sick real easily, and it just makes it so I get worn out faster, and it just basically, that's what's wrong with me.
The 15th?
Yeah.
You need to go in and make...
It's just like hitting me that I'm so young and I'm having to go through this, and it just kind of drugged me down. And I was at a loss for words for a long time, and I just was like, didn't want to talk about it. And that's what everybody else wanted to do, was talk about it.
The process of dialysis is they hook you up either by fistula or by a catheter in your neck. This is the dialysis machine. It pumps the blood through the kidney and washes away all the toxins and all the excess fluids that your kidneys generally filter out. Then they feed it back in, and it's, you know, more clean. When I get off the machine, I'm gonna go eat, because the dialysis diet, you can't eat, you know, the normal foods. You can't eat the pizza, you can't eat the ice cream, the chocolate, all that stuff.
I actually never really realized how sick I was. Like, a lot of people would say, like, oh, you know, you're really yellow, but I never saw myself like that. I just thought that was, you know, my skin color. And then after transplant, I noticed my skin change drastic, and it was so weird. And then I look back at pictures now, and it was like, wow.
The fact that I could just give her 40% of my liver and to see her whole life back again, to, you know, go back to school, to play with her sister, to do all the things that other typical teenagers do, I just feel like I say to them, how can you not want that for other people? And you can do that.
So what do these people have in common? Their lives were and are dependent on a generous family saying yes to organ donation. Saying yes at the most heart-wrenching time of their lives, when they're dealing with the death of a loved one.
Evan Burke was our son who died at the age of 21, just 2 months after his 21st birthday in a skateboarding accident in Ashland.
He was very outgoing. He had lots of friends. He played sports.
He was very artistic from a very young age and became mostly involved with ceramics. His chief love was ceramics.
He didn't like the fact, I think, that he was a good artist, and he kind of denied that for a long time, but then he finally realized that that really was his thing that he did, and he did it very, very well.
Fortunately, donor families can look through their grief and turn their tragedy into a life-saving decision by having their spouse, parent, or even child become an organ donor.
Most people that I talk to think it's really cool that, you know, that Evan was an organ donor. They're very moved by that. They think it must have been very, very hard for me, which was not the case. I miss Evan every day, all the time, but I can't change the fact that he died. And so donating his organs was it was a bonus for me to be able to do that.
Ask any transplant recipient the importance of the gift they received and the ways their lives have changed, and they will tell you how grateful they are every day of their new lives. While his chosen path is not an easy one, even for a healthy person, snowboarder Klug didn't let a liver transplant just months before the Salt Lake City Olympics keep him from winning a bronze medal.
It was a scary time leading up to my transplant, those 3 months in the spring and summer of 2000, when you know, I wasn't too sure I was going to make it to my 28th birthday, let alone my 33rd. So feeling healthier and stronger than I ever did before my transplant, and still doing what I love to do, racing my snowboard out here with my buddies. I feel very fortunate.
Since I've had my second transplant, things have been amazing. I feel great. I'm going back to school to get my master's in business. I've been trying to go out and travel, regain my independence, and more importantly, gain my freedom, and just get out and be able to live my life and do things. For a while I'd thrown away all my lists because when you're very sick, you definitely have days where you don't have the fight left in you. But now I definitely want to get married. I'm going to have kids someday, lots of dogs. And when I finish my MBA, I'm going to go find the job of my dreams. I'm not sure what that is yet, but I'm sure it's out there. I'm very lucky to be here today, so I can't sit around and become a couch potato.
Sometimes the job of transplant education is not easy, as donor programs and recipients find out when talking about organ donation. They can spend as much time clearing up how the process doesn't work as they do explaining how it does.
It's amazing to me, all of the misguided information that's out there.
You do hear, people that have, the myths about, organ donation.
People have said that at least once or twice have made the comment that, I'll be the first to go if I'm a registered donor, or if I'm not, they'll try harder to save me. But that's clearly not the case.
I don't know where they get this from. I think it's like one of these
TV shows or something.
These old things that just keep circulating.
Everybody is treated exactly the same, and it's just an unfortunate cycle of life.
Sometimes I feel like, well, just get more information, and maybe question some of that information you're getting from other people who don't know about organ donation.
I know that a lot of my generation is using like the MySpace and the Facebook. Donate Life has a Facebook page, and so I'll send people that way. I'm like, if you have any questions, I'm sure that people over there will answer whatever you have. They know a lot more than I do. It's knowing where to direct people, kind of.
It's a hard word, dead. It's a hard word to say, and it's a hard word to deal with. And I think that that's possibly why people have difficulty dealing with the whole thing about donation. Is if you're donating, there's a good chance you're dead, and you don't want to think about that.
Organ donations give patients a chance at a normal, healthy, and productive life. If it wasn't for someone saying yes to donation, I probably wouldn't be alive today. My mom had a kidney transplant in her 20s and became healthy enough to have my brother and me. You don't know when or if you'll ever be in need of a transplant, so wouldn't you hope that as many people as possible would say yes to organ donation? Becoming an organ donor is the ultimate act of recycling yourself. You can save 8 lives and enhance the lives of over 50 others with organ, eye, and tissue donations. Here are the organs you can donate: your heart, intestine, kidneys, liver, lungs, and pancreas. You can also donate tissue, including blood, bone and tendons, your corneas, heart valves, marrow and stem cells, skin, and veins and arteries. There are 3 ways to register to be a donor. 13 and up can sign up online at donatelifenw.org, or you can fill out a paper form that you can request from Donate Life Northwest. Also, if you're 15 and up, you have the option of putting a D on your driver's license. When you sign up to become an organ donor, you're given the option of what you'd like to donate, if you have a preference.
I highly encourage everybody to talk with their family members and even with their friends and just let them know that these are their wishes, this is what they want to do with themselves upon their death, and that's what their beliefs and that's what how their feelings are. I think communication is actually the most important.
I have little stickers and stuff and shirts with Donate Life, and sometimes people ask me and I go, well, I had a liver transplant, and a lot of them know that, and so I say, it's really important and get the D on your license.
It's not like you have to. It's a volunteer thing. It's giving someone a life. It's one of the greatest things you can do.
I think I've got some pretty convincing arguments on why this is a really good thing, and I've never actually had anybody come and question why they shouldn't do it. So that's a great feeling for me.
When it comes to telling people if organ donation is a good thing or bad thing, I'm just like, I need a new liver. It's got to be a good thing. And even the doctors tell me that I'll be healthier than I've ever been.
There are other forms of donation. One that When Evan died, we asked people to give blood. He used 60 units of blood in the hospital. Blood goes to help a great many people for operations or wounds or accidents. People can also donate part of their liver when they're living, and they can donate one kidney when they're living. So we try to stress that you don't have to die to be a donor.
The impact that a single donor can have is so significant. I know my donor alone saved 5 other lives and improved as many as 20 other lives.
All that I can do to try to just put that word out, more people like Hayley and just others who are just waiting and waiting will hopefully get that organ or tissue donation that they need.
So, might as well help other people live.
These organs aren't going to do me any good when I'm gone, when they can give sight to people and help people in other ways.
My life's on hold, and I just feel like that I can't really do anything, go anywhere really, because I've got to be around the area. I've got to have my phone on me at all times, and it's kind of like I want to go back to living my old life. I want to go back to working. I want to go back to just doing what I used to do.
There's no real downside to it. It's just helping someone get back on their feet and giving them hope.
Recycle yourself by becoming an organ, eye, and tissue donor. Be sure to talk to your family about your wishes to donate. Put a D on your driver's license and sign up online at the donor registry. Make sure your wishes are known. Otherwise, it'll be on your family to make that decision at a very difficult time. You can change someone's life by simply signing up to become an organ donor. Please give the gift of life. Thanks.